Now, okay, so we seen functions or methods. We have seen variables. We have seen few dunder functions or special methods. Okay, now we will look at primarily, mainly what there are like four main pillars of OOPS. Right, four main pillars of OOPS. What are they? Okay, so
Abstraction.
yes, one of it, and the four is one. Inheritance,
Abstraction.
polymorphism, encapsulation, and abstraction. Okay, so these are the four main primary principle of object-oriented programming, not with respect to Python. So these are with respect to any of the object-oriented programming language. These are the four main important concepts. Four main important concepts. Okay, so I want you guys to give 100% attention to these concepts, because these are not something you can learn today and leave tomorrow though. So these has to be carried out for life, carried out for life. All right, so we'll start with the first one, inheritance, right? So in general, what does inheritance mean? In general, what does the term inheritance mean? Hmm. So you have, right, so you will have assets, right? Some land, some house, certain things that your parents have now, right? It might be a land or a house or any of the materialistic thing, any of the materials, right? If they have, do you have to buy them? Again, whatever they have, you will get those, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If a parent has land or house or any other material, by default, their son or daughter will get it.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right? This is called inheritance, right? Obtaining parents' properties. Obtaining parents' properties is called inheritance. Is called inheritance. Okay. Now it could be it could be father, let us say son, right? So generally it might be inheritance is not just possessing the land or properties, or right, possessing certain properties like certain features, right? So basically you are tall like your father, you look like your mother, uh, those sort of things, right? Your complexion is like your father, your complexion is like your mother. All of those features also, right, are inherited to you. Yes,
Yes, sir.
right. So these are some real
Yes,
world
sir.
relations. These are some real world relations. In programming also, right. Now, what is the problem here? Now, if your father or mother says I'm not going to give anything of the possessions that I have, meaning You have to build all of those positions by yourself, maybe land or maybe house or any other properties. Yes. If they say they don't give you, obviously you'll have to, right? And so does if there are like, 10 sons for a particular parent. So all 10 of them should actually build their own asset. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Yes, sir.
But,
Yes, sir.
right. Let us say your dad already has like, the parent has 10 houses already. Okay. And has 10 sons. Wouldn't it be easier like, if you had given one house each? So that like, the kids won't suffer or kids won't don't have to like, go get or make their own house. So they can reuse. They can reuse what is already there. That saves the time. Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
that sort of thing. So if at all, if this is not even in real world, this doesn't make sense, right? If the parent can give their assets, obviously kids, they don't have to reinvent something. They can reuse what is there. Yes. Now
Yes,
that is
sir.
the
Yes, sir.
power that we want to utilize in programming. That is the power we want to utilize in programming. Now, what is inheritance? Inheritance is a capability in programming right? That can inherit properties, that is variables and methods. Inheritance is a capability in programming that can inherit properties, that is variables and methods, into another class. Into another class. Okay. Into another class. Actually, right. The class that is being inherited. Okay, or how do I put it? One moment, let me rewrite the statement. Okay, the class that inherits is called child class, or you can call it as derived class. Okay. The class that has the properties defined is called parent class or base class. Parent class or base class. Okay, so example, I have two classes. Parent inheriting from a child inheriting from parent. right? The parent has a function called function, okay, and variable as a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. Now child doesn't have anything, but what is child doing? Inheriting. Inheriting parent. Now by default, child also has, though it is not defined, it is empty, but child also has function and a equal to 10, b equal to 20. How does child got these values? These properties, how did the child get these properties?
Parent.
He's inheriting, sir.
Obtaining parents' property, sir.
Right? Because child is inheriting from parent, though the child doesn't have them, right? But still it will be able to access all of those. It will be able to access all of those because of inheritance, because of inheritance. Right? Are we clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, what are the benefits of inheritance? What are the benefits of inheritance? What are the benefits of inheritance? One, it provides code reusability. See, if you see, we have defined the code here, but because of the inheritance, even child can access these functions. Child can access these functions, which means I can execute I can execute these from the parent class also, and I can execute the same functions from child class also. How can I execute this from the child class? Because child class is inheriting from parent, which means I'm able to reuse the same write once and I can reuse multiple times.
Yes, sir.
And hence
Yes, sir.
Sir.
it provides code reusability. That is why does it say code reusability? We don't have to write same code again and again. We don't have to write same code again and again. Okay, right. Right. And it also represents some real world relationships. It represents real world relationships. But the primary important thing is this, it provides code reusability. We don't have to write code again and again. So write once, use multiple times. Clear?
Clear,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, when it comes
Yes,
to
sir.
inheritance, there are different types of inheritance. Okay. There is something called single inheritance. Single inheritance, meaning there is one parent, one child. Parent, child, nothing more. Only one level, right? One level. Hence, it's called single inheritance. Okay. Another thing, we have multi-level inheritance. This is a single level or single inheritance. Another is multi-level inheritance. You have a parent 1, you can call it as another parent 2, right? And then another parent, right? And then you can call child. Parent 2 inheriting from parent 1, parent 3 inheriting from parent 2, child inheriting from parent 3, which means child has access to the functions and variables in parent 3, also has functions access to the functions and variables of parent 2, also has function access to the functions and variables of parent 1. So which is like, in real world, you can say like, you are going to inherit the properties of your parents, and they did inherit properties from their parents, and they would have inherited certain properties from their parents. Right. So, right. So a lot of the properties your grandfather or their father would have bought, but still you are also cultivating in the same land. You are also using the same properties. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. That
Yes,
is
sir.
like a multi-level inheritance. That is like multi-level inheritance. Okay, this is a single level. First one, single inheritance. Another one is multi-level. Okay. And third one is multiple. Multiple inheritance. Meaning there are multiple parents for a single child. Parent 1, parent 2, and child. It's like you can treat like, mother and father, and a child get the properties of both. Child gets the properties of both. Right? This is now child is inheriting multiple. Child is inheriting from two classes, which is parent 1 and also parent 2. This becomes multiple inheritance. This becomes multiple inheritance. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Now we will try to understand what is inheritance programmatically. Okay. Now before that, we will look at syntax on how to inherit. I'm going to say class parent. Okay. It has I is equal to 10, ex is equal to 30, def test self a comma b, right? I'm not going to do anything here, just say pass. Now this is my parent class, that's it. Now I'm going to inherit. How am I going to inherit? There is a particular syntax on how we can inherit. Right here, I'm going to write class child. And I open parenthesis. I open parenthesis and I will provide the parent class name. I'll provide the parent class name. I'll provide the parent class name. Now this entire class, right? This entire class is being inherited into this child class through this approach. You name the child class and the class name, followed by there is a parenthesis, and then there is you mention from which class you want to inherit from which class you want to inherit from. And just say pass, right? Now if I create an object for the child class, right? X dot, I can access that method, right? I can say X dot I, it works, and we can say X dot, right? It works because child class literally doesn't have anything. Do we see anything in the child class? Nothing. but still I will be able to call the parent classes method. I'll be able to access the parent classes variables as well because of inheritance, Clear?
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay, one moment. Let us go back and try this. I'll create a package. Right within that, I'm going to create my class parent is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. I have variables. Class So this is what I have in the parent class, nothing much. Class child, and here in the parenthesis, I'm going to give my parent class name. I'm going to give my parent class name. So there is nothing I have defined. Okay, nothing I have defined in the child class. Right, now what I'm going to do is object is equal to child. Right, now I'll say object dot print object dot a. I'll try to access the variable object dot b. I'm going to say object dot what is that function name? Test object dot add. Right, let us run this. Right, we know child class doesn't really have anything, but I have inherited from the parent class. Though the child class doesn't have anything, I can still able to access this from the parent class. Yes. If you see
Yes, sir.
10,
Yes,
20, I have a
yes, sir.
function from the
Yes, sir.
parent class and the
Yes,
add
sir.
function returned 30.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Clear, sir.
Okay. Now this is very, very important when it comes to object-oriented programming. The first concept is inheritance. That is obtaining the properties of a parent. It is variables and methods of the parent class into the child class is called inheritance. Okay. Now we are going to understand next thing. What is the how is it going to help us? Okay. Okay. Now class person I am going to create. Class person I'm going to create. First name, last name, right? First name, last name, age. These three parameters I'm going to take. Okay, so this is one function. If they enter the age, you have to print the year of birth. What is the current year?
2023, sir.
2023.
If they enter certain age, how can you give the year of birth? Current year minus age. Self.age. Okay, these are the functions. Okay, or let's say def email. Okay, so these are the properties that I have in this. Okay, right now I want to create class employee. Class employee. Now employee also I want the same. Employee also I want the same methods. Apart from that, I also have okay. So additionally from this, whatever is there in the person, I want the same thing here also in employee. And at the same time, I want a few more functions like, I have added set company name, set salary and so on. Okay. Now I also want a student class or employee. For student calls, also I want same properties as employee. Sorry, a same person, same properties as we have here. For student also I want. Additionally, what else does the student get? Set class. And additionally, we want these properties for student. Okay, or instead of set standard and class are going to be same. Okay, additionally, but if you notice, right, if you notice, I have three classes. Yes, one is person class, which has one constructor, which takes three parameters. And there is one full name method. There is the age to year of birth method. There is a set email and set phone method. Yes. And
Yes.
employee class, which also has the init method with function three parameters, same parameters as the person. Then full name, age to year, set email, set phone. Additionally, it has set company name and set salary for employee. Okay. Now we have one more class which also has the constructor with three parameters, same as the person and employee, and also has the same functions as full name, age to year of birth, set email, set phone as there in employee as there in person. And additionally, it has two more methods specific to this class, set class and set section. Now we know that the same functions are being repeated. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, when the same
Yes,
functions are
sir.
repeated in three different classes, today it is three, tomorrow it can be 10 classes or 20 classes, we don't know, right? Which can have the same functionality, which can have the same functionality. When I say functionality, it's about the same functions having same variables, right? Now it can have the same functionality, but does it make sense for us to keep a copy of these functions in every class? Does it make sense to keep these functions in every class?
No, sir.
Now, if I want to change this behavior of years to year of birth, right, I want to add something else. For next year, I want to add 2024. What should I do? I have to go here, change everywhere. Yes. If while doing
Yes,
this,
sir.
if I miss at one place, it is going to change the behavior. It is going to give the wrong value.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes,
what is
sir.
the best way? What is the best way to avoid this? What is the best way to avoid this? How can we avoid repeating ourselves? Repeating the functions, repeating the constructor, repeating the variables. How can I avoid this?
By inheriting, sir.
Right? Through
Yes,
inheritance.
sir.
Now we know these are common functions, right? I'm going to remove this and I'll say student inherit from person. For this also, employee also, what I'm going to say, because these are going to be common. Like, why, what does it mean for me to have them created again and again? This also I'll inherit from person. Right? And a person remains as is. Now person is one class which is being inherited into two different classes. One is employee class, another one is right, another one is student class. Both are
Student class.
inheriting from person because
Student
the
class.
properties we wanted as same. Right. Now let us create student object is equal to student, and we know that. Now tell me what happens. I'm trying to create a student object. Right? It is saying the student doesn't have a constructor, but it is being inherited from parent, but parent has a constructor. Yes,
Yes,
being
sir.
inherited from a class person, and person has a constructor, and constructor takes three parameters.
Yes, sir.
Now you should ensure that you pass those three parameters. first name, last name, and age 30, right? Full name, age to year of birth, right? Student object dot. I'm going to say set phone. Class 10. I want to see what all it contains. So right after creating, I will print once, and in the end, I will print again. OK, I'm going to execute this. Now see, when we created an object, we passed 3 parameters to it: John, IBH, and 30. Now that is it. My first name is John, last name is IBH, and age is 30. And full name is John IBH. Right. After that, what did we do? Right. We call this function age to year, and it says return, and I'm going to say print also here. I'm going to say print also. Let me print. Right. So 30 years and 2023. When was he born? 1993. And later we did set certain values. What is that? I said set phone. Do we have phone as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? And this is the value that I passed. Set class. Class name is 10. Set email. Email is whatever. And at last I'm printing. And so if you can see, right, all of those values are being set. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now you understand the
sir.
power of inheritance right now. Yeah, now we have created instead of having the same methods, same variables being repeated in multiple classes, right? Multiple classes. Now, right, this employee and student are going to be of person type, either employee or a student. He is a person,
Yes, sir.
right? It might be manager,
Yes,
it
sir.
might be security. I can create a number of classes, but all of those are actually a person in real life.
Yeah, persons only, sir.
Right, and hence I have named my parent class as person, and I have used set certain properties that are common across the person. You don't need, like, for employee and for a student, there as a person they will have two different values. No, they are going to have the same common thing. So whatever is the common for student, yes, there is a class, there is a standard, there is a section, there is a school, and all of that. For an employee, there is a company, there is a salary, there is a age, there is certain values respect to object, sorry, respect to employee. Now, whichever is the common will go into the parent person class. Whichever is not common and specific to the child class, they can have their own functionality. They can have their own functionality. Now, whatever is the common will go into the person class, and I can inherit the person class in both the places. And this is specific functionality, the specific method, specific variables can go into the child class. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir.
Right. Right. This is called inheritance. This is the power of inheritance. Code reusability. I have written it once. I can reuse it multiple times. I can reuse it multiple times. Are we clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
Okay. And the next important concept is polymorphism. The next important concept is polymorphism. Okay. Going to create another package for polymorphism is a subset of inheritance. Only after inheritance you can achieve polymorphism. But what is polymorphism? What is polymorphism? Any idea? Poly means
Many.
many. Morphism means forms. Morphism means forms. One object acting differently. One object acting differently. Right? Take a woman. Right? Or a man, whatever. Right? So she is a mother. She is a daughter to someone. If she is working, she is an employee to someone. She is a sister to someone. Right? Right? She's a wife to someone. Right? It is the same. It is the same person. It is the same person. If she is with the children, she is a mother. If she is with their parents, she is a daughter. If she is with her siblings, she is a sister. If she is with her husband, she is a wife. If she is in a company working, she is an employee. One person acting differently based on where she is located, based on who she is accompanying with. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Many forms, one object acting differently based on where the object is. Right now, here in this example, in the real world example, there is a woman. If she is with their children, she is a mother. If she is with their parents, she is a daughter. If she is in a company, she is an employee. If she is with the sibling, she is a sister, and with the husband, she is a wife. In the same way, in programming also, there are certain objects act differently based on where the object is. We have already seen the polymorphism at many places. If a plus operator is between two numbers, what will it do? A plus operator is between two strings. What does it do? If a plus operator between two lists, what does it do? Right? Same operator acting differently based on where the object is. If it is between two integers, it is going to add. It is going to add. If it is between two strings, it is going to concat or join. If it is between two lists, it is going to create new list. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
It is
Yes,
the
sir.
same plus operator acting differently between numbers, between strings, between lists. It is the same operator, right? Plus, 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 but it is acting differently based on where it is, right? So this particular concept is called operator overloading. Operator overloading. That particular concept is called operator overloading. Okay. Now, in the same way, we can also achieve,
Okay, sir.
we can also achieve polymorphism. Now, polymorphism always works if there is an inheritance. There is no polymorphism without inheritance. Okay. Polymorphism. Polymorphism always requires. Polymorphism always requires what?
Inheritance, sir.
Inheritance, right? Polymorphism simply just means having many forms or having many behaviors. Okay, now, right, let us say I'll have a bird. I'll have a bird. Okay, I'm going to have a bird class. I'm going to have, let me just erase this and put it in center. I have I have segregated or grouped properties specific to bird. Now in the bird you have many birds, right? In the bird you have many birds. Let us represent parrot. Let us represent a sparrow. Let us represent and let us represent. Now, right now, all birds can fly. All birds can fly. Here I have one fly method, which basically means print I can fly. I can fly. And another one, a swim, like print bird. I'm just generally writing I can swim. Okay. Now can penguin swim? Yes or no? Can penguin swim? It can swim. Yes. Can a penguin
Yes, sir.
fly? Penguin cannot fly.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Right? Can
Yes,
parrot
sir.
swim?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Can parrot fly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Same goes for sparrow. How about swan? Let me just have one more. Right? Can swan fly? It can fly. It can swim. Right? Ostrich can. Ostrich cannot fly or it cannot swim. Sparrow can fly, but swim it can't. Right? Though the properties are going to be common, there are certain birds which can fly and swim. There are certain birds which can't do both. There are certain birds which can do one and cannot do another. Right? Now, if I define these common functions in my parent class, if I define these common functions in my parent class, if I define these common functions in my parent class, right, and call parrot dot or penguin dot fly, and it has to say, right, can it say I can fly for penguin? No, but it has to say I cannot fly. I cannot fly, right? Which means I have to override this parent class behavior in child class. I have to override parent class behavior in the child class, right? I have to override the parent class behavior in child class. How can we do that? After inheriting inheriting, right? I have to override the parent class behavior in the child class, parent class behavior in the child class. Now in the parent, right, it can say if I create an object for a bird and I call fly method, it can say I can fly. Fly method says I can fly. And if I create a penguin class object and if it says which is inheriting from a bird class, and if it says penguin dot fly, right, it will say I cannot fly. Right? It is the same function. It is the same function of type bird. But at one place it says fly, I can fly. At another place it says I cannot fly. This is same function having two different forms. Same function having two different forms. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
Polymorphism
sir.
means having many forms. Having many forms. Right? Now, one of that example is our plus operator, which we have seen so far. If it is between a numbers, it adds. If it is between list, it creates a new list by joining all the elements. If it is between the strings, it concatenates. Right? In the same way, methods also, with respect to the class definitions also, we can achieve polymorphism by overriding the functionality of a parent, by overriding the functionality of a parent. Example, let us say your father is a farmer. Okay. Does that mean you should also become a farmer?
No, sir.
Right? You can become software engineer or
No,
police
sir.
officer or whatever. Right? Now, if you are still a son of a farmer, right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
If at all
Yes,
assume
sir.
there is a method called job, right? You will have a same surname. Example. If I use that on your parent, it will say farming. If I use that on your name, it will say software engineer. It is the same job. Job method is just same, right? But you have overridden the functionality of a parent. You did not become a same farmer. You have overridden the functionality. You have become something else now. Right? Same job function, but you have become something else. You did not inherit or keep whatever your parent had. You have overridden. It is the same job method which acts differently when it is with a parent and acts differently when it is with the child. Okay. Let us see that. Okay. Right. Now let us create inheritance, and I'm going to create one more thing for polymorphism. I'm going to create bird is flying. Okay. Let's say def eat bird is eating. Say def swim bird is swimming. Right. Now you create a class for sparrow, inherits from bird. Now only thing is if I just say pass, I'm not writing anything here. Now object is equal to sparrow, and if I just say object dot fly, yes, object dot swim, yes, object dot eat, yes. So let me run this. See, right? It says bird is flying, bird is swimming, bird is eating. Right? I'm going to create one constructor here. Def right now I have passed my name also. Right, it just instead of bird, I'm just want to use it as the name itself. So here, what I'm going to do is right after inheriting these methods will anyways be part of the sparrow. And when I'm calling on top of the sparrow function, it will use this object name object variable or instance variables name here, and it will print that. So if I run this again, now it says sparrow is flying, sparrow is swimming, and sparrow is eating. Okay, now can sparrow actually swim?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Now, but what does it say? Sparrow is swimming. But now I want to override my parents' functionality. I don't swim. Sparrow doesn't swim. I want to override. So I will use the same name. I will use the same name as I have in my parent. I will use the same function name as I have in my parent. Right? And here I can override that functionality. I can override that functionality. Now, if I run this, right? Now, what does it say for swim?
Cannot swim.
It says cannot swim, but the parent it is swimming, but we know that sparrow cannot swim, right? So I have overridden the functionality of the parent and overridden the functionality of a parent by using the same name as I have in my parent class. And I can call that function name now. Instead of calling the parent function, it calls the child classes function. It calls the child classes function. Are we clear? This is called
Yes.
Yes.
method overriding. This is called method overriding. Overriding the behavior of a parent class. Overriding the behavior of a parent class is called method
Yes, sir.
overriding. What are the primary concept for a method, primary property for a method overriding? The method name should be same as a parent. The method name should be same as parent. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
This
sir.
is called. Now let us see. Well, there is one function to check if this object is an instance of which class. This object is an instance of which class. Is instance, I will pass object. Is this object instance of sparrow? True or false? It will just give true or false. Is this object instance of a sparrow class? True. Object is an instance of a sparrow class. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Now I
Yes,
will also
sir.
check, is this object instance of a bird class? Yes or no? True or false? Is
True
it
only,
a,
sir.
why is it
True,
true?
sir.
True, right? Why is it
Very
true?
true.
Because though it is a sparrow, it is still a bird because the sparrow is inherited from a bird.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
The
sir.
sparrow is also inheriting from bird,
yes, sir.
which means this object is also type bird and this object is also type sparrow. Right now, this object is the bird class as well as the sparrow class. But if I call a swim function, if I call it on a bird, it gives bird is swimming. But whereas if I call it on a child sparrow, it says it cannot swim. Right? So they both now, why did I give this isInstance function? Because they both are of a same object type, bird object type. But based on the type of object, it says it cannot swim. It cannot swim. Let me create one more. Inherits from bird. Now this init is going to be same, right? What I'm going to do is I want init for the subclass also. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put it into a parent class. I'm going to put it into a parent class. Why do I should keep in a subclass or a child class? Right now, I know penguin cannot fly. Right, and let me just say pass. Okay. Now I'm going to create an object for penguin class. Now, if you see, right, and let me just say penguin. And if you run this, now it says penguin is flying. Can penguin fly? Penguin can swim, penguin can eat, but penguin cannot fly.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I have to override this behavior, what should we do? In the penguin class, I have to override the functionality of the parent by saying cannot fly. Cannot fly. Now it says penguin is cannot fly, penguin is swimming, penguin is eating. But penguin, when it says fly, it cannot fly. It is the same function that I used for sparrow, right? Whereas sparrow says it is flying, but penguin says can't fly. Sparrow says it can't swim, but penguin says it can swim. Is it the same function that we are calling? Swim and fly? At one place it says it is flying, at another place it says it cannot fly. How did we achieve that?
By overriding, sir.
Right, through overriding. Right, through overriding. Though the function is same, is it behaving differently based on the type of object?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, one moment. Hello. అవునన్నా అవునన్నా. Is it same function that is behaving differently based on the type of object? It is the same function, swim, swim. But at one place, at sparrow, it says cannot swim. At penguin, it says it can swim. Same function, fly, fly. At sparrow, it says it can fly. At penguin, it says it can't fly. Right? So this is a behavior change based on where the function is located and based on where the function is located in. Right? This is called method overriding. Overriding the behavior of a parent is called method overriding. Overriding the behavior of a parent is called method overriding. Am I clear?
Clear, sir.
Now it's the same function
Sure.
acting differently based on where the object is. This concept is called polymorphism. And polymorphism in general has two ways to achieve polymorphism. In general, polymorphism has two ways. One is called overriding. Okay. Another one is called overloading. Okay. But in Python, as I told, object-oriented programming concepts are common across programming languages. Okay. Either it is Java, Python, C, C, sorry, C++, .NET, right? All of this. But, and hence, all of the programming languages supports the same functionality, overriding, overloading. The concepts are same. But when it comes to Python, Python only supports overriding. Python only supports overriding. Python does not support method overloading. Python does not support method overloading. Method overloading is not supported in Python. Only overriding is supported. Are we clear?
Clear.
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
But to give you a high level on what is overloading, so if I have a method ABC, right, this has one parameter, right, and I can in the same class, I can use the same name as this, and I can have two parameters. Okay, now this and this are treated differently in other languages because this has one parameter, this has two parameters. Yes. And this same method is overloaded with one more extra parameter, and hence it is called method overloading. But in Python, right, you cannot have two functions with the same name. You can have only one function with one name, and hence method overloading is not possible in Python. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Right?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Homework. Now homework is that you create a multi-level inheritance. Right? Person class, employee class, and manager class. Security. See, security is also an employee of a company. Manager is also an employee of a company, right? This is a multi-level inheritance. You create this hierarchy. You create a specific functions that applies for manager, that applies for security. You can create a common functions between the employees in the employee class, and all the person common attributes created in the person class. Okay. Here, person name, whatever you take. But when it comes to job, manager has a different job, security has a different job. They both are employees, their salary, their email, their name, and all should be taken. But when it comes to job, security does the security job, manager does the manager job. They both cannot do the same job, yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Those
Yes, sir.
functionalities can be here, the job acts differently, here the job acts differently. Now, using this, right, I want you to come up I want you to understand one concept before next class, which is going to be on Monday, right? I will tell if I can take class tomorrow. I am not sure. Okay, tomorrow is what? Tomorrow we will take class. Sorry, I thought tomorrow is Saturday, right? Tomorrow we will take class. Now, one thing is important, which I want you to understand is, right? How does there is something called method resolution order. I want you to read about it. What is it called? Method resolution order. Method resolution order. Right now, even in the inheritance, we have only seen like, multi-level and multiple inheritance. Sorry, single and multi-level inheritance. This is again a multi-level inheritance, and here it is a multiple inheritance. Yes, this and this is a multiple inherit. They both are inheriting from the same class. But when it comes to here to here or here to here, it is a multi-level inheritance. Yes or no?
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Yes,
When
sir.
you have something like this, I want you to go read about something called method resolution order. Build this, complete this, and also read about something called method resolution order. Okay, we'll discuss more on this tomorrow, but I want you guys to read about it, and yesterday's homework and today's homework has to be submitted by tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
All right. Any doubts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
See, these are the concepts you will understand when someone is explaining. Okay. And if you don't practice, after some time, you cannot. After some time, you cannot like, again, okay, what is this? You will be confused. You will not understand. So practice is the only way that you can keep up with the technology, keep up with something that you're not aware, keep up with something that you're learning for the first time. Practice, practice. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
All right, guys, then I'll see you guys tomorrow.